Most people spend their entire lives in pursuit of wealth or happiness, but few ever pause to question what either truly means. They race after money thinking it will bring peace, or they chase moments of happiness hoping it will make up for the financial struggle, and in that confusion, they lose both. They wake up years later with money but no joy, or with peace but buried dreams. This is the silent suffering no one talks about, the one that eats away at your soul while everything on the outside looks fine. You've been told you have to choose, that you can either be rich or fulfilled. That success demands sacrifice, and joy means settling. But that belief isn't just wrong, it's dangerous. It keeps you trapped in a loop, chasing things that leave you empty. You start believing that rest is weakness, that working harder will fix everything, that one day, after all the stress and pressure, you'll arrive. But no matter how far you go, the finish line keeps moving, and eventually you're left wondering if the price was worth it. Let's be clear. Wealth is not just money, and happiness is not just a smile. True wealth is freedom, the power to choose how you live, where you spend your time, and what you give your energy to. Real happiness is peace, knowing that who you are is enough and that your life means something beyond a paycheck or praise. You don't need to choose between the two. You were built for both. But to have both, you must start thinking differently. The world trains you to believe that more is always better. Bigger houses, faster cars, louder recognition. But research shows the opposite. After a point, more doesn't add meaning, it steals it. You get caught in a cycle of chasing, always needing the next thing to feel worthy. And that cycle is killing your spirit. It's not that you're failing. It's that you're following a path that was never built to lead you to peace. So ask yourself, what if wealth wasn't just about what's in your bank, but also about what's in your mind, your health, your relationships, and your heart? This is your invitation to break the illusion, to stop running in circles, to redefine success on your terms. Because the truth is, you don't need to escape your life to change it. You need to see it clearly, to make bold decisions, not desperate ones. You need to align your values with your vision and your habits with your hope, because the rest of your life is still unwritten. And starting today, you get to choose what story you'll live. Stay with this message, because if you're ready to stop surviving and start living, if you want wealth and happiness to finally feel real, everything that follows will change how you see the rest of your life. If you truly want to be wealthy and happy for the rest of your life, you must begin with the one thing more valuable than money: time. Time is the only resource you cannot earn more of, cannot borrow, cannot store, and cannot reclaim. Yet it's the first thing we waste, the last thing we respect, and the only thing we realize we needed more of when it's already too late. Every second you spend distracted, unmotivated, or trapped in things that don't align with your purpose is a second you never get back. You don't lose life all at once. You lose it minute by minute, day by day, while convincing yourself you have more of it. We're told to chase money, but we aren't told how to protect our time. We schedule our lives around what others expect, not what we need. We say yes when we should say no. We let anxiety rob our focus and let comfort steal our ambition. Time, when left unmanaged, becomes a trap. You're not just losing hours, you're losing opportunity, passion, potential. And the most dangerous lie we believe is that we can wait, that we have time to figure it out, that one day we'll start living fully. But one day is a myth. The only time you ever truly own is right now. Wealth and happiness aren't found in distant goals. They are built by mastering today. The moment you begin treating time as sacred, everything changes. You become more present, more intentional, more powerful. You begin to see that time isn't just something that passes. It's something that defines your entire life. The people who are truly rich understand this. They don't spend time, they invest it into learning, into relationships, into health, into creating impact. And the happiest people don't need more time. They just know how to live fully inside the time they have. Look closely at your day. Where is your time going? Who or what is draining it? Every distraction, every excuse, every delay has a cost. And if you keep living on autopilot, the price will be your future. You cannot become someone new while living in the patterns of someone who's stuck. You must make time for growth. Make time for vision. Make time for silence. Make time for what matters most. Because if you don't, the world will fill your time for you with noise, with fear, with other people's agendas. This is your moment to reclaim your time, not tomorrow, not when it feels convenient, but now. Start treating your minutes like gold. Start saying no to anything that doesn't feed your purpose. Start showing up like your time matters, because it does. And once you start honoring time, time will start honoring you. The life you dream of isn't waiting somewhere far away. It's hidden inside the hours you haven't been using with intention. Change that, and you'll change everything. If you want to unlock wealth and happiness, you have to face the truth about your beliefs. Because most people don't fail from lack of opportunity. They fail because their mind is at war with their potential. You can work hard, stay busy, and chase goals, but if deep down you believe you're not worthy of success, you will always sabotage it. The way you think about money, success, and happiness is either building your future or quietly destroying it. And most of those beliefs weren't chosen. They were inherited from your environment, from your upbringing, from people who were never free themselves. You were told to play it safe, to be grateful for little, to avoid standing out. You may have even learned that money is bad or that wanting more makes you selfish. But none of those beliefs are true. They're just mental cages passed down by people who were afraid to want more. And if you don't unlearn them, they'll keep you small, no matter how big your dreams are. Every time you hesitate to ask for more, to grow, to raise your standards, it's not laziness, it's programming. And the most dangerous part is that it feels normal. It feels like truth. Your brain holds on to what's familiar, not what's right. So if poverty, struggle, or low self-worth were normal in your past, your mind will keep recreating that pattern, even when your heart wants more. That's why change feels so hard, because it's not just about actions, it's about identity. You can't build a new life with an old mindset. You must rewire the thoughts that tell you it's too late, too hard, or too risky. You must decide that wealth is not a dream, it's your right. That happiness is not a luxury. It's your base state, and that you no longer need to shrink to survive. Start by paying attention to your inner dialogue. Every time you think, I can't afford that, shift it to, how can I afford that? Every time you say, that's not for people like me, remind yourself, that's exactly what I was made for. This isn't about fantasy. It's about foundation. You build a wealthy life by first believing you deserve one. You build a happy life by knowing it's not out there. It starts within you. And until you claim that truth, you'll keep chasing shadows. This is your turning point. Choose a new belief system. One built on possibility, not pain. One rooted in abundance, not fear. The moment you shift how you see yourself, the world begins to shift with you. You're not stuck, you're not broken. You've just been running old software in a new reality. But now you know, now you see, and now you can change. Speak life into your mind. Feed it faith. Feed it truth. Feed it strength. Because the person you are becoming is already waiting. You just have to believe you're ready. If you want to rise, you must take a hard look at who you allow to walk beside you. Because no matter how strong your mindset is, it will break under the weight of the wrong relationships. The people in your life are either feeding your fire or draining your soul. There is no neutral energy. Every voice you listen to shapes the one you hear in your own head. And if those voices are filled with fear, limitation, doubt, and distraction, it becomes almost impossible to build a life of power and peace. You can outgrow your old thoughts, but if you don't outgrow the people who planted them, you'll keep returning to the same cage. You were not born to fit into environments that keep you small. You were not created to absorb the pain, dysfunction, or fear of others. But the truth is, many carry the emotional weight of people they were never meant to carry. You become the emotional dumping ground for others' problems. The fixer, the peacekeeper, the one who keeps shrinking to keep the peace. But real peace isn't silence. It's alignment. And the longer you stay in misaligned relationships, the more you lose yourself. Your energy weakens, your dreams fade, your standards drop. If you want a wealthy and happy life, you must start treating your emotional environment like sacred ground. Stop normalizing chaos. Stop confusing loyalty with self-betrayal. You don't owe your potential to anyone who refuses to grow. You owe it to yourself to rise, to protect your space, to choose alignment over approval. Because your life is being shaped right now by the people you allow near your heart, their beliefs, their energy, their influence. And if that influence is pulling you backward, you cannot afford to stay silent anymore. This is your permission to let go, to outgrow the version of you that tolerates people who don't respect your growth. You are not arrogant for protecting your peace. You are not cold for setting boundaries. You are not heartless for saying, this no longer serves who I'm becoming. You are healing, you are evolving, and you are reclaiming your right to thrive. The strongest love you'll ever give is the one you give to yourself when you say, I will not settle for less than alignment, respect, and growth. Surround yourself with people who speak life into you, who challenge you to rise higher, who remind you who you are when you forget. Build your tribe with intention. And if you can't find those people yet, become that person first. Be the one who sets a new standard. Be the one who chooses truth over comfort. Because once you change your circle, you'll change your energy. And once your energy shifts, everything else follows. You're not just protecting your time and mind. You're protecting your future, your joy, your mission. And that starts with who you allow to stand beside you as you rise. Choose wisely. Your life depends on it. If you want to build a life that's both rich and fulfilling, you need to protect your energy like your entire future depends on it. Because it does. Energy is your hidden currency. It's what fuels your choices, sharpens your focus, and powers your discipline. Without it, your ideas remain dormant. Your confidence fades. Your goals become heavy. It's not always your dreams that are broken. It's the energy required to chase them that's being stolen. Every distraction, every toxic habit, every low vibrational choice chips away at your strength until all that's left is fatigue pretending to be failure. You are not lazy. You are not weak. You are not unmotivated. You're likely just depleted. Your mind is cluttered. Your body is neglected. Your soul is disconnected. And you cannot pour from an empty vessel. You need energy to focus, to create, to lead, to love. And that energy doesn't come from caffeine, noise, or chaos. It comes from alignment. It comes from rest, from clarity, from solitude, from purpose. The world screams for your attention, but your power grows in silence, in stillness, in the moments you reclaim your breath and remember who you are beneath the noise. Your ability to earn, to serve, to impact, all of it depends on your energetic state. You can't outwork poor fuel. You can't out-discipline a burnt-out nervous system. Your routines are either building your power or slowly draining it. The way you eat, move, sleep, speak, and think either elevates your energy or leaks it. And no amount of ambition can survive in a body and mind that's constantly under attack. So choose differently. Move with intention. Fuel your body with what empowers you. Protect your mornings. Guard your mental space. Cut out habits that cost you clarity. Energy is the amplifier of everything. When you're lit up, you see possibilities instead of problems. You take action instead of procrastinating. You create instead of consuming. You lead with presence instead of reacting in panic. The more energy you have, the more valuable you become, not just in the market, but in your relationships, in your mission, in your inner world. Your life changes not when you work harder, but when you rise higher. And rising requires fuel. It requires light. It requires you to stop burning your power on things that keep you small. This is the moment to shift, to make space for recovery, to breathe deeper, to rest without guilt, to nourish your mind like it's the engine of your destiny, because it is. Stop chasing progress with a drained soul. Heal, recharge, align, and then move with force. Because when your energy is whole, your power is unstoppable. Wealth becomes effortless. Happiness becomes natural. And life begins to respond to the fire you've rebuilt within. You don't need more time, you need more energy. Master that, and the life you want will no longer feel out of reach. It will feel inevitable. The life you want isn't built through chance. It's created through clarity, courage, and consistency. No more waiting for motivation to strike. No more hoping the right time will magically arrive. The truth is, the rest of your life will be shaped by how willing you are to act. not when it's easy, but when it's hard. Wealth is not a reward for perfection. It's a consequence of aligned decisions made over and over again. Happiness isn't found in the absence of struggle. It's found when your struggle finally has meaning. You don't need a perfect plan. You need relentless commitment to the right direction. It starts with clarity. If you don't know where you're going, every distraction will look like an opportunity. Every obstacle will feel like a reason to stop. But when your vision is clear, your actions become sharp. You stop wasting time explaining your goals to people who don't understand them. You stop doubting every step. You stop settling for things that look good but don't feel right. You begin to live on purpose. And from that clarity comes courage. The courage to say no, to take risks, to stand alone, to keep going when comfort whispers for you to quit. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you've decided that what you want matters more than what you fear. It means you trust the process even when it's uncertain. It means you keep showing up, not because you feel ready, but because you're no longer willing to let your old life hold your future hostage. You face rejection. You face judgment. You face your own doubt. And still, you move because you've realized that staying stuck is more painful than failing forward. But none of this matters without consistency. Power comes from repetition. Success comes from doing the simple things, especially when they feel boring. Growth doesn't happen in breakthroughs. It happens in habits. Every early morning, every quiet choice, every disciplined moment you think no one sees, that's where greatness is built. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters with relentless focus. You don't rise by accident. You rise because you've trained yourself to keep going long after the feelings fade. And as you walk this path, something shifts. You begin to feel wealthy before the money arrives. You begin to feel happy before the circumstances change. Because you realize this isn't just about goals, it's about identity. You're not chasing success, you're becoming it. You're not waiting for life to reward you, you're creating a life worth waking up for. A life rooted in strength, peace, and purpose. You've come too far to keep living like you don't matter. You've survived too much to keep playing small. This is your time, your moment, your turn to step into the life you were always meant to live. And if you keep moving forward with clarity, courage, and consistency, nothing can stop what's coming next. There comes a moment when you realize that everything you've been searching for isn't somewhere out there. It's waiting to be unlocked within you. You've been taught to chase, to strive, to seek the next thing. But real wealth is not about accumulation, and real happiness is not about escape. They are both results of alignment. When your thoughts match your actions, when your values shape your habits, when your inner world reflects your outer decisions, life stops feeling like a battle and starts becoming a masterpiece. The journey becomes less about trying to prove something and more about expressing who you already are beneath the noise, the fear, and the lies. You are not here to live a life of quiet frustration. You are not here to settle for survival. You are here to build something meaningful, to live with fire, to love with depth, to lead with purpose. But you can't access that version of yourself if you keep living by default. You must choose. You must break the loop. You must rise, even if no one understands your reasons. Even if the world tells you to slow down, give up, or be realistic. Because realistic never built greatness, comfortable never created freedom, and safe never led to fulfillment. You have a voice inside you that already knows what to do. But you've been ignoring it for too long, buried beneath distractions and the noise of other people's expectations. That voice wants you to rise. It wants you to wake up and step into the life you were meant to live, not tomorrow, or not when you feel ready, but now, because the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is the decision to start showing up as who you were always meant to become. Start holding yourself to a higher standard, not because you're broken, but because you're powerful. Start treating your time, your energy, your attention as sacred. Stop handing your life away to things that bring you nothing but regret. Stop settling for temporary highs that leave you empty. You were not made to numb. You were made to feel deeply, live boldly, and give completely. You were made to leave a mark, not just pass time. Every choice from this moment forward is shaping the rest of your life. Every thought you entertain is either building your future or betraying it. Every action you take is either strengthening your foundation or slowly destroying it. This isn't about perfection, it's about direction. It's about choosing over and over to align your life with your highest self, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when no one claps for you. Because one day you will look back and realize that every sacrifice, every silent victory, every painful stretch was worth it. If you want to be wealthy and happy for the rest of your life, stop asking for permission and start building your legacy. The future doesn't belong to the lucky, it belongs to the intentional. And that can begin right now.